Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Alicia George. Thanks for joining us. In our top stories, Portsmouth fire officers protest unsuitable working conditions. ASP Wicks reappointed as police PRO. From the region, wrongdoings of former Antigua and Barbuda government under investigation. And internationally, 9 babies seized as Thailand cracks down on suspected illegal surrogacy. Details of these will follow. Welcome back. Fire officers at the Portsmouth Fire Station continue to sleep outside of the station's building in protest of what they say are unsuitable working conditions. General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, DPSU, Thomas Later, on Thursday told SAT TV News that the protest began last week. However, it was suspended due to the passage of Tropical Storm Bertha last Friday. He noted that this current protest action by fire officers is an attempt to bring to the fore a number of issues currently facing fire officers on island. Fire officers have also been concerned about the length of their daily work shifts at the Melville Hall Airport.
But as far as Portsmouth is concerned, we have said it over and over again that the conditions down there are inhumane. We have situations where the area was heavily infested with rats. The officers also experienced the problem of being asleep and bat feces falling on them. We have the situation where ventilation was inadequate. The washrooms were not functioning properly, and the equipment, even the mattresses that the officers are sleeping on, some of them are complaining of back aches. So it is a lot of problems down there.
Later said it has been over 2 years he has been working to resolve the matter, with promises from the relevant authorities that it will be addressed, but to date no action has been taken. He said the officers sleeping outside is sending a clear message that their working conditions are unacceptable.
What would cause them to stop the protest action as soon as they have been given the okay, as soon as they are relocating, the action will end.
Meanwhile, Fire Chief Josiah Dupuy has criticized the course of action taken by the officers, saying it was not reasonable and unnecessary, considering the information that have been disseminated to the officers with regard to the process. In May of this year, fire officers stationed in Granby threatened industrial action due to unsanitary conditions which they claimed were a threat to their health. The new Public Relations Officer, PRO of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, who is also the Assistant Superintendent of Police, Inspector Claude Wicks, says he is committed to working with the media following his reappointment to the post he once held. Inspector Wicks, in an interview on Thursday, said the news was communicated to him on Wednesday. He served in that capacity for a number of years before he was replaced by Inspector John Carbon, who served as PRO for the past 2 years.
First of all, I thank God for a wonderful privilege. I've always made myself available to the Creator to be used for His glory and honor, and more so to enhance the quality of life of humanity, more specifically the people of Dominica. It's always a challenge to be a public relations officer, particularly of the military or the paramilitary. In this case, the police department. I stand up to those challenges. I know that God will give me the wherewithal to continue to execute that function.
Inspector Wicks said he will continue to work on building the image of the police force. He added it is critical that the police force and the public maintain a good relationship. According to Wicks, the public and police must work hand in hand to curb the instances of crime and violence on the island.
I look forward to working not only with the press, but disseminating information to the public in a timely manner on things relevant to the public, of course, that they need to know. And I seek to do that kind of duty impartially and, of course, without fear and or favor. It's all about serving the public, and it's the interests of the public, the expectations of the public. As we all know, they're very, very enormous. It's not very easy to satisfy the public, but at the end of the day, I'm one who believes that there are standards, and the standards have to be sustained. And having a good relationship with the public that I'd had previously as public relations officer, and now that I've assumed it, I have every reason to believe it will continue in the same vein, in the same trajectory, and for the benefit of not only the police force and the public, but by extension the Commonwealth of Dominica.
The new police public relations officer added that although the new role can be very challenging, he is ready to take on the task. Andy Prosper, job supervisor and architect on the Bath Estate Emsall housing project, has confirmed that work is now 45% complete on the Bath Estate component. Speaking with Star TV News on Thursday, Prosper revealed that construction work on both the Bath Estate and Emsall sites will be completed by February 2015 and subsequently handed over to the government. The project, which falls under the government's wider Housing Revolution program, is focused on providing adequate housing for low-income families. According to Prosper, the low-income gated communities will include landscaping, proper road networks, and car park facilities. 12 two-bedroom apartments and 12 three-bedroom apartments will be constructed in Bath Estate, while 18 two-bedroom apartments and 18 three-bedroom apartments will be built in Emsall. Prosper also told SAT-TV that 80% of the materials being used to construct the 4 complex buildings are recycled. More than 5,000 square meters of government land is being used for the construction of this housing project, made possible through funding by the People's Republic of China. Material is expected to arrive from China in mid-August to start construction of housing frames in Emsall. 8 new board members were installed into the Rotary Club of Portsmouth on July 31st. Rotary Assistant District Governor A.G. Haynes was present to swear in and place the Rotarian pins on the new president, new board members, and other Rotary members. The new board members include President Morrison Azil, Vice President Liz Vanderkamp, Secretary Matilda Carty, Treasurer Trish Edwards, Project Chair Gregor Nassif, PRO Hans Childers, Foundation Chair John Howley, and Membership Chair Catherine Joseph Karam. Rotarian Catherine also introduced 2 new members, Jennifer Swime and Marlene Valentine. Following the induction ceremony, the Rotary Club of Portsmouth held its 3rd annual raffle draw to raise funds for 2 large projects: a sanitation project for Calibishi, where 60 toilets and septic tanks will be installed into private homes, and the remodeling of the Portsmouth Emergency Room. The Government of Dominica has pledged to provide the materials for the sanitation project, while the Ross University School of Medicine will partner with the Rotary Club of Portsmouth for the Emergency Room project. At the end of the raffle, the Rotary Club of Portsmouth was $11,000 closer to its goals. The Honorable Ian Douglas was present to witness the event, along with visiting Rotarians from the Rotary Club of Dominica. Welcome back. Dr. Clayton Shillingford, president of the Dominica Association of Arts and Sciences, DAS, has supported the government's stance to venture further into alternate sources of energy, namely geothermal, however stressed the need for work to be carried out in a professional manner. During a recent interview with SAT-TV, Dr. Shillingford described the geothermal project as being huge. He noted that in order for it to be successfully implemented, reliable personnel must be contracted on the job.
To have it done well and to do all of the necessary public relations to give the people in the community there the confidence that things are being done right, you need persons who are credible, who are going to be able to stand and say, look, I have the expertise in the area.
Dr. Shillingford, in speaking on the importance of energy for development, said Dominica must find a sustainable energy source if it wishes to realize economic success in that area.
The price of gas today is considerably more than it was, let's say, 5 or 10 years ago, and likely to get worse. So the question is, can you then input into the society to deal with your energy needs? Can you do solar? I think we can. Can you do hydro? I think we can. Can you do wind? I think we can. The geothermal thing is also important. So you can package all these things together to get your energy cost down.
Dr. Shillingford said significant investment is needed to set up such a viable system for geothermal or any other energy source. Project Officer of the Geothermal Project Management Unit, Alexis George, told SAT-TV News that reports from the most recent flow test conducted in June 2014 in the Roseau Valley have not yet been received. George said that these results will determine the plant design and provide answers to technical problems that may occur. Take a look at this. This is an attempt by one man to rob 2 bottles of alcohol from the Save-A-Lot supermarket on Thursday afternoon. As you can see, this obviously turned sour when the man ended up in a fight with a security guard. Loss Prevention Coordinator for Fine Foods Inc., Duke Sevre, is advising thieves to stay away from the supermarket following the unsuccessful robbery attempt.
The incident that occurred this afternoon was where a shoplifter came into the store, took 2 bottles of whiskey, and went out without paying for it. This is an individual we have had under surveillance before. We have seen him doing the same sometime before, only that we had not captured him. But my security people were awaiting him, and they confronted him outside the store after he had taken the stuff and went with it.
Company security officer confronted the individual, who resisted on exiting the supermarket. The security officer was assisted by another security officer from nearby KFC and the police officer who managed to subdue the individual. Sevre told SAG TV News that the Save-A-Lot supermarket in recent times has been a major target for thieves. He added that the presence of surveillance cameras at the supermarket has assisted in spotting these thieves.
We welcome Dominican to come. It's a place where you can come and shop at ease. The purpose of the camera is basically for the security of persons coming on the premises. We do not necessarily want to see what you're doing, but we want to be sure that what you are doing is legit at Save-A-Lot.
Sevre, who is a retired police officer, noted the supermarket is always protected by a number of efficient security officers. The alcohol stolen, a bottle of black and bottle of red label whiskey valued at $195.74, were broken during the fight with the individual. The individual involved in the incident was subsequently transported to the police station. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.